Have you guys ever been assigned to a group and there's just that one person who, whenever they open their mouth, you just want to like strangle them? Well, maybe not to this degree, but in all groups there's going to be a certain degree of group tension. And this is because as humans, we all have different thoughts and different opinions, and sometimes these opinions conflict with each other. But the important thing to know is how to ease these tensions within a group setting. And throughout the duration of the speech, I will teach you guys how to handle primary tensions, secondary tensions, and how to handle hidden agendas. So I'll begin by talking about primary tension, which is basically that initial awkwardness within a group as you guys are getting familiar with each other, and people are being extra polite because they don't want to offend anyone, and they're basically just trying to make a good first impression. And this is good and it's healthy for a group setting, but it can reach a point where it's ultimately damaging to the group. For example, in high school, I was assigned to a group project with two other people, and none of us had ever talked to each other before. So, we introduced ourselves to each other, and we're, extra polite and friendly, but we never reached a certain comfort level with each other where we could, disagree with each other or share our true opinions. So basically, whenever anyone suggested an idea, the two other people would just say, "Oh, that's a great idea, let's do that." So it was basically like a mediocre idea on top of a decent idea on top of a so-so idea, and ultimately we received a poor grade on it because we weren't able to build off of each other's thoughts and ideas. So how can you move past this primary tension? Well, according to an educational text that's titled A Primer in Communication Studies, this will naturally just kind of pass with time, but if it doesn't, you have to put a little bit of effort into it, and you can do that just by small talk and conversation and trying to really connect with people. So asking personal questions like, "What are you doing this weekend?" or "How's your day going?" Just small talk like that can really do a lot of work. So after you pass primary tensions, you'll come across some secondary tensions, which is basically when people have different opinions and there's conflict between that. And this can be constructive or destructive. It can be constructive criticism when you guys are building off of each other's ideas and furthering each other's thoughts, but it can also be deconstructive when people start disagreeing with each other just for the sake of disagreeing with that person. And according to our textbooks, the best way to handle this is to try and keep the mood light. So saying funny jokes or showing funny videos can really help. Or else, if it gets to a point where it's really deconstructive, talking to the people personally and getting their thoughts and trying to figure out the roots of their problems, that's how you'll have to handle it. So next, when it comes to hidden agendas, this is basically a person's personal goal when that personal goal gets in the way of a team goal. And I know that sounds confusing, so I'll give you an example. I love to play basketball, and at LA Fitness, where I play, one team will play against another team, and the winner stays on the court and the loser gets knocked off when a different team comes on. So obviously both teams want to win, and both teams' goal is to win, and the best way to win is to utilize teamwork. But sometimes you may get a single player whose personal goal is to score the most points. So they're going to shoot all the shots and they're not going to pass. And they're basically just going to ball hog the whole game. And so here you can see that their personal goal is getting in the way of the team goal, which is to win. And when you come across this, it's kind of a delicate situation because first of all, like the name itself, a hidden agenda, they're hard to find. So if you do think that you are finding it, or you think someone has a hidden agenda, then the best thing you can do is confront the person in a friendly manner, not in a hostile way. And it's best to do it not in front of the group, or else they may feel threatened by you. It's important, according to our textbook, our think textbooks, to constantly be reinforcing the team's goals. So saying hey, we need to accomplish this by a certain date, and you guys remember, we need to get this done. And if you think that they have a personal goal and it's really getting in the way of the team goal, ask them what their personal goal is within the context of the group. So essentially, working in a group setting can be extremely rewarding, but it can also be extremely frustrating at times. Getting past the initial awkwardness of a group will not usually just pass with time, but if not, then you have to put a little effort into it by getting to know people on a personal level. Keeping the mood light can help ease secondary tensions, and if you think someone has a hidden agenda, you basically want to call it out as soon as you see it so it doesn't manifest itself into something that's, gets to a point where you can't help it. So yeah, in conclusion, whether it's working on a group project or you're working on a project for your career, learning how to handle group tensions can really make or break the outcome. Thank you.